The St. Louis Cardinals continue to get elite starting pitching, and it's been the nucleus of what is now a season-high 8-game winning streak.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. You can follow me on X at JD Sports Radio. You can follow the podcast also on X at LO_Cardinals. We're on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification button so you know when the new episodes are posted. Also now available on TikTok and Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. Lots of shorts being put out there, little reels and stuff. So be sure to check it all out, because this is a show serving Cardinal Nation and giving the best fans of baseball all of the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So to quote the legendary Bill Murray from Ghostbusters, and I know he's a Cubs fan. That's okay. But in Ghostbusters, as Peter Venkman, we came, we saw, we kicked its ass. The St. Louis Cardinals take 3 in a row on the road from the Washington Nationals. They've now won 8 games in a row and are now 1 game back of the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central. Bravo. Bravo. Hence why, if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing the ugly loud shirt again. And I know people keep asking me to pull out a broom or something for the sweeps. I don't know. There's not a lot of room here, so I don't know if that's really going to make a whole lot of sense. I'll let you guys do the broom stuff. I'll just wear this hideous shirt for you. But this is how we celebrate series wins, and this is the 3rd straight series I've gotten to wear this shirt, because the Cardinals, after splitting that 4-game series in Cincinnati, took 2 of 3 from the Mets, who just took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. Then they swept the Pirates in 3 at home, and now 3 in a row on the road in Washington. And when streaks like this happen, it's usually because a lot of things are going right for the team. Bounces are happening in your favor. Hits that used to be caught are falling and landing in grass. And that's certainly been the case for the Cardinals. There's been some good things happening. They are playing great defense, which is an underrated aspect of this team, something that's not talked about a ton, but they are one of the best defensive teams in baseball. They're running the bases well. Sure, you're going to have a few plays here and there where you're like, well, that wasn't great. But overall, things have been going pretty well. You know, guys are scoring and getting into scoring position. Anytime you get Victor Scott on first base, he's in scoring position, it seems like, because now he's just making his way around the bases, no problem. They're getting timely hitting. Things are going well for the Cardinals. They're getting power like they did on Sunday when they need it. They don't always have it, but when they need it, there it is. But the one thing that has been the main ingredient for this 8-game winning streak has been the starting pitching. When the Cardinals have gotten the good starting pitching this year, more times than not, they're winning. And what the Cardinals have gotten from their starters in this last week has been nothing short of spectacular. And the funny thing is it all started with someone who's not even on this roster right now. It all started with Michael McGreevy against the Mets. After Palante had that rough start in the second game of the doubleheader on May 4th, it was McGreevy who came in and just attacked the Mets hitters. He rattled off 5 2/3 innings of 1-hit shutout ball against one of the best teams, not only in the National League, but in Major League Baseball, to get the win and help the Cardinals sweep that doubleheader. Since that game, the starters have been on another level altogether. It's been incredible. And the Pirates and Nationals, no, they're not elite offenses. They're not. The Pirates are one of the worst in the league, and the Nationals have had their moments, but they're a very young team, but still have some firepower. But even so, you can't take what the starters have done for granted. Bad teams beat good teams all the time. Pirates just took 2 of 3 from the Braves. I think you would consider them a good team after the Cardinals swept them. The Rockies beat the Padres on Sunday after getting outscored by 3 touchdowns on Saturday. So it happens all the time. But the Cardinals and their pitching staff took care of business against Pittsburgh and this weekend against the Nationals. Miles Mikolas threw in 2 of those games. He pitched okay on Monday in that 6-3 win over Pittsburgh. 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 innings. one inning away from getting that quality start, but certainly competitive enough against the Pirates. And the Cardinals offense ended up rallying off of their bullpen, and Gordon Graceffo grabs the win in relief. Tuesday, you had Matthew Liberatore out pitching Paul Skeens in that 2-1 pitchers duel. 7 innings, 1 run on 3 hits, 3 walks, but 8 strikeouts. Wednesday, it's your number 1, Sonny Gray, 7 innings of shutout baseball, 7 hits, 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Friday, Eric Fetty comes in and throw his first complete game shutout in his major league career. He was freaking awesome. 9 innings, 0 runs, 6 hits, no walks, which is huge for Eric Fetty because that's the one thing he's really struggled with this year, even in the games that he's pitched pretty good, was the walks. 8 strikeouts in that game for Eric Fetty. He's not a strikeout guy. 8 punchies. Saturday, Andre Palante has not had a great start to the year so far. He goes 7 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. Those 2 runs coming in that 8th inning. 7 strikeouts, 0 walks. Notice the theme here. And then on Sunday, we're back to Miles, and it's 5 1/3 innings from Miles Michaelis. 1 run, 4 hits, 5 Ks, 1 walk. What McGreevy started, the rest of this rotation has followed, and that is attack, attack, attack the strike zone. Stop giving these teams free runners. Go after them, and if they beat you, then so be it. The home run that Miles gave up on Sunday to Nathaniel Lowe was down in the zone, over the middle of the plate. I'm sure if you asked him, he'd say, yeah, I was trying to get that on the outer portion of the plate more. Came over the middle. He hit it over the wall. But at least you're in the zone and you're not putting these guys on. And that's constantly where bad things happen. And when you're giving the other team free runners. Now, can you live in the zone like this, like they did in this series and like they did against Pittsburgh, against a team like, I don't know, the Phillies, who you're going to go face now? They got sluggers up and down that lineup. We'll see. You certainly have to be more careful with them. Because if you miss over the plate, just like Nathaniel Lowe did on Sunday, they're going to put it over the wall. They're going to hit it hard more times than not. They've got all kinds of hitters. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. They just keep coming at you in waves. Trey Turner. Did I say him? Anyway, they just keep coming. Bryson Stott. But against these younger teams, pouring in strikes was the key. And the Cardinals did it beautifully all week long. Final line for the week for the Cardinals starters. 40 2/3 innings. 40 2/3 innings in 6 games. So an average of almost 7 innings an appearance. 7 runs, an average of 1.2 per game. 24 hits, average of 4 per game. 37 strikeouts, average of just over 6 a game. And mind you, Michaelis had only 1 strikeout on Monday, which obviously drops that number down significantly. And only 8 walks. That's just over 1 a game. Their combined ERA in the 6 starts this week is 1.55. Yeah, that'll play. That'll play. And again, yes, it is the Pirates and the Nationals. I get that. So the Trolls, you don't have to keep saying that. I know it's the Pirates and the Nationals, but you still got to go out there and do your job. And they did it very, very well each and every night. Oh, and by the way, the bullpen, yeah, they didn't give up any runs all week. None. Didn't have a lot of action because the starters were so good and were throwing so deep into these games. But when they were called upon, they got the job done as well. Do your job. And the Cardinals pitching staff did their job this week. Ryan Helsley clearly hates clean innings. Has to be a hit or a walk in there somewhere, but he picks up a couple of saves when he got into the games. Everyone else locked it down. One hell of a week for Dusty Blake and the boys. Well done. We're going to talk about the offense this weekend because you can't win unless you score, no matter how good your pitching is. So we'll do that next on Locked On Cardinals. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, You'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. You need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, and you'll always be able to talk to a real person, which is awesome because that doesn't always happen in this day and age. And for trade pros, if you're looking for an extra edge, well, hello. Their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and while it's going on live with player props, performance trends, and the same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. If you think you've got a read on who's heating up in a certain series or in a particular game, why not back it up with the same game parlay? You know, everybody was all over the New York Knicks after their 2-0 start, and then, hey, here comes Boston again. Yeah, they're a pretty good team. Jason Tatum's a pretty good player, no matter what the Knicks fans would want you to believe. He is a very good player. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves continue to do great things. He's another guy that I've been all over when it comes to those same game parlays. So you should get in on it too. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com, place your $5 bet, and if it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leave your comments on YouTube as well as on X anytime you want. Your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. And, of course, it's really nice to see all the positive stuff coming from the Cardinals fans right now. Hey, you win 8 in a row. People are going to be more happy about things. Yeah, there's going to be some guys out there that are still going to, be the trolls. It's okay. They're always going to be there. But enjoy it. 8-game winning streaks don't happen very often. Not a lot of teams are going to ever enjoy that. So enjoy it. Feel free to enjoy it and live it up for while it lasts, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, it's got them within 1 game of first place in the NL Central right now. So have fun with it. The Cardinals offense has been solid all year. Every team is going to have its hiccups and dry spells from time to time, but most of the time, this team has been one of the better teams in baseball when it comes to the offensive side of things. And this weekend, they continued their winning ways by scoring 10 on Friday. They get 4 on Saturday, 6 more on Sunday in this sweep of Washington. And one thing that has happened in all 3 games was the Cardinals had the ability to score early and be the first ones to score. They scored first, strike hard, no mercy, just like Cobra Kai said so. Friday, they get 2 in the first, and it started with a pair of walks from Lars Nootbaar and Nolan Gorman. Or not Nolan Gorman, Mason Wentz. I'm sorry. Walks are as good as hits. And the Cardinals have continued to be very patient on most nights. And it's led them to being a top 10 team in walks so far this year. That hasn't gone unnoticed. They've got 150 walks so far, which is only 12 behind the league-leading Arizona Diamondbacks. They've been excellent at it. And their working counts. And when they're not walking, the other side of it is that they're not striking out all that much. They're in the top 10 in lowest amount of strikeouts for a team as well. So you're getting more walks, you're getting less strikeouts. Funny how that formula works when it comes to winning in the game of baseball. In that game on Friday, you get the 2 walks. Arenado follows with a single, and then Contreras doubles. Boom, it's 2-0. And they go on to win 10-0 without even hitting a home run in that game on Friday. But they got 4 doubles. They went 5 for 17 with runners in scoring position. They were getting the job done. Saturday, they get it going in the 2nd inning. Contreras gets plunked. 6th time that he's been hit. And I was thinking about that after he got hit. I was like, how many times? Because guys are trying to pitch him in. That's how they're trying to get him out. And, of course, when you do that, balls are going to tail in and they're going to hit Contreras. You're just hoping that it doesn't catch him in a bad spot and he gets injured at some point from this. So hopefully that does not happen. Get all the batting armor you can on Contreras, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to bust you in. But yeah, so you get Contreras plunked by a pitch. Then Burleson walks. Gorman gets sawed off, but he does put the ball in play, doesn't strike out, so it's not like an empty at bat. Moves runners over, so it's first and third, 2 out, and then Pedro Pages, Mr. Clutch, singles in a run. Victor Scott comes up, laces one to left, singles in a run. Nootbaar doubles, boom, 4-0, and the damage is done. Cherry on top is that inning, all the damage came when there were 2 outs. You know, that is just like, you know, gut-wrenching if you're on the other side of things. And obviously, Cardinal fans, we've been on the other side of things before when it comes to stuff like that, where things are happening with 2 outs. You're just like, I can't watch anymore. It's debilitating almost when you're the other team. You're just like, ah. And then on Sunday, you get Lars Nootbaar hitting a solo home run to lead off the game. Contreras goes yard in the second inning. And there you go. Now you're at 2-0 again. Here they are in the dugout celebrating. Cardinals never trailed in this series against Washington. Never trailed. They haven't trailed in a game since Tuesday when the Pirates were up 1-0 in the 6th inning, only to see the Cardinals come right back and erase that lead in the bottom half of the inning and take a 2-1 lead and knock Paul Skeens out of the game. They haven't lost since, they haven't trailed since then. They haven't lost since then either. 20 runs in 3 games this weekend, almost 7 per game. They banged out 27 hits. That's 9 a game. They walked 16 times, a little over 5 per game. So think about that. You're getting 9 hits per game and almost 5, a little over 5 per game. So that's 14 people who are on base every game on average. You're going to win some ball games when that's the offensive output you're getting. Nolan Arenado. Let's look at some of the stuff that guys have done over the last week. Nolan Arenado, 7 for his last 19. He's hitting .368, 5 runs scored. Hit his 4th home run of the season on Sunday for the insurance late in the game. Wilson Contreras, 6 for his last 18, .333, 5 walks, 2 home runs, 6 ribbies, and 5 runs scored. Victor Scott at the bottom of the order here, 6 for his last 19. He's hitting .319, 3 ribbies, 4 runs scored. I feel like all of them are from first base. He just keeps coming in. Hasn't had any stolen bases this week, which is a little odd, but he keeps scoring, so who cares? Newt, who was, he was cooling off a little bit there. He's 6 for his last 25. Solo home run on Sunday to get things going. 4 RBIs, 4 walks, 3 runs scored. Burleson is 4 for his last 13 with a home run and 3 RBIs. They faced a couple left-handers in this series, so that's why you didn't see Burleson much. You didn't see Gorman much. Pedro Pages, 5 for his last 13, 4 walks, 3 runs scored. Splitting time with Pozo. Herrera obviously is back, contributed 2 RBIs on Friday night. Mason Wynn has been better recently. He seems to, they've talked about it on the telecast. He just seems to be more engaged when he's near the top of the order. And they got him batting second and moving Contreras down. It's worked out really nicely for both these guys. Brendan Donovan has slowed down a little bit, but, he's still at .318 on the season. It has been excellent, both at the plate and in the field, whether you're putting him in left, whether you're putting him at second base. He's been awesome. Really, if the Cardinals could somehow figure out how to get Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman to wake the up, there literally wouldn't be like a weak spot in the order. Like when you go 1 through 9 and you're looking at how the Cardinals are playing right now at this very moment over this last week, the one spot that is the weak spot is wherever Gorman and Walker are. They just aren't doing anything. But everybody else is contributing in some way, shape, or form. Now, very rarely do you ever have every single person in your lineup all on a heater at the same time. Doesn't happen that often. So eventually some of these guys will cool off, and maybe that's when Walker and Gorman step up. It's a long season. And I know there's a lot of people talking online like, how long is this runway going to be? It's going to be all year. It's going to be all year. They're going to give them as much time as they need to try to figure it out. That's the way it is. But the Cardinals, despite Walker and Gorman not contributing all that much, continue to win baseball games. And it's not just against the Pirates and the Nationals. Like I've mentioned, they've beaten a lot of good teams. Beating the Mets 2 out of 3. That was significant, right? They're gonna play another team their next series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Beat them 2 out of 3. They've beaten some good teams too. It's not a bunch of scrubs. They beat the Brewers, who aren't having a great start to the season, but it's division opponent, reigning division champ. Beat them 2 out of 3. It hasn't been all just bums that they've been able to beat. So they'll be tested, though, in this next series because now they're going to go on the road to Philadelphia. We're going to preview that series coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving is going to hook you up with 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber, which is great because it helps the insides do the things they need to do. And they also got the better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller even longer. And when you're watching Cardinals baseball, when you're watching Stanley Cup playoffs or the NBA playoffs or the Battle Hawks or St. Louis City SC or movies, whatever it might be, you're going to want to snack on something. So make the smart decision and grab some super snackable stuff that is actually good for you. Wonderful pistachios. They make it super easy to get a quick protein boost, which is always nice if you're somebody who likes to go to the gym and is trying to build some muscle, always trying to find the protein, right? And they provide all 9 essential amino acids while you're watching the big game or movie or TV show or wrestling, whatever it may be. Had to give a shout out. WWE this weekend was in St. Louis. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. I will be hosting the next 4 nights of MLB Game Night. So, Cardinals keep winning. I'm probably going to wear this ugly-ass shirt on that show. The Cardinals are in Philly for the next 3, so it ain't going to be easy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Phillies are still trying to chase down the Mets in the NL East, but as I'm sure you know, they're still one of the best teams in the National League and in all of baseball. The Cardinals did take 2 of 3 from them already this season when they were at Busch, April 11th through the 13th, and they did it while facing the Phillies' top guns in the rotation. It wasn't like the 5th and 6th starters in their rotation. It was the best of the best at the time. It was a 2-0 win over Aaron Nola in that first game. Andre Palante went 7 shutout innings in that one. Game 2, Philly took it 4-1 behind Christopher Sanchez, who gave up just 1 run in 6 1/3 innings. He's been excellent this season, so no shame there. Just because you don't know who Christopher Sanchez is, you should get to know him because he's really freaking good. Then in Game 3, the Cardinals against Zach Wheeler, they score 4 against Wheeler, thanks to a home run by Contreras and RBI doubles by Nato and Gorman. Went on to win that one 7-0 behind Matthew Liberatore, 6 shutout innings. So you had really good pitching for the Cardinals in all 3 games, really. I mean, you only give up 4 runs to that Philadelphia Phillies lineup over 3 games. I mean, you expect to win at least 1, probably 2, and maybe even 3. But they took 2 out of 3 on that one. Going to be good pitching matchups again in this series. Monday, it'll be Matthew Liberatore, who's just been on the heater recently, against Christopher Sanchez. He's 4-1 on the season thus far, just coming off a shutout over the Rays, 6 shutout innings, 6 of them in his last start. So a couple of southpaws will be duking it out in that one. Tuesday, you've got Sonny Gray against another left-hander in Jesus Luzardo. If the name sounds familiar, it's because they got him from the Marlins. And he is 3-0 on the year so far, 2.11 ERA. That is the second best ERA in the National League. Only one person better, the Dodgers' Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So that trade has worked out nicely for the Philadelphia Phillies thus far. Remember, the thing with Luzardo was always injuries. Will he be healthy? Will he be healthy? Because when he's healthy, he's usually pretty good. Was not healthy very much at all last year. Phillies took a chance, and so far, so good for them. Then in the day game on Wednesday, it'll be Eric Fetty against Aaron Nola, who is shocking. And then what I said, when they beat them in that series earlier in April, Aaron Nola was obviously one of their top guns. It hasn't gone well for Aaron Nola. A lot of up and down for him so far. He's 1-6 on the season right now. The ERA at 4.89. Very un-Aaron Nola type of numbers. And it's weird because he'll pitch good for a couple games and then blah, and then he has like a really bad outing. So not a great outing in his last time on the mound, but before that, the last 2 games, he gave up like 1 run over 13 innings. So we don't know which Nolan we're going to get. He was good against the Cardinals in that first time. They just, it was 2-0 was the score. So not going to be an easy series. That's for sure. But the Cardinals right now are feeling confident. They're feeling really good about themselves. They've won 8 straight. Again, 1 game back of the Chicago Cubs in the NL Central. They've already beat the Phillies twice this year. Took 2 out of 3 in April. So we'll see if they can keep it rolling in Philly. Thank you guys for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on X at LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio. We're on TikTok and Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. Please like, subscribe on YouTube, help our channel, and love for the Cardinals grow. We did get to 12,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. Now we move on to the next number. We'll see if we can get to lucky 13,000 at some point in the future. You guys are the best fans in baseball for a reason, and I will see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.